You're in Place de Trocadero. It's normally a very buzzy, quite touristy part of the city. Tell us, what's it like there today?
Well, as you said, Trocadero is a place that is usually filled with cafe goers, restaurant goers, theatre goers. It's starting to resume something that resembles normal life here after 7 months. Just behind me is the Théâtre Chaillot. They're going to be opening their doors to people for a spectacle, a dance show in the next couple of hours. It's going to be free to the public to encourage people to get back into the swing of things. Now, this, of course, isn't a total deconfinement right across France. It is a phased process, and the curfew remains in place, so that, of course, affects the times of performances. Restaurants allowing people back onto the terraces, as we heard in that report, and they will be allowing people to eat indoors on the 9th of June. So the date today, the 19th of June, is a date that couldn't come soon enough for the people in the cafes and restaurants around this square. President Macron said back in April, it's time that the French started resuming the French way of life. There's plenty of evidence of that here, but the only snag is the weather. The month of May has been the wettest month in 60 years across France. So perhaps eating and drinking out in the open is not everybody's cup of tea.
And Tom, some celebrations among Parisians today, but there is a little caution as well, isn't there?
Absolutely. The French Prime Minister Jean Castex said, we are emerging from the health crisis. We're not out of the woods yet. And just a reminder of that was the fact that last night there were more than 17,000 new cases of COVID-19, 187 deaths. However, the number of patients in ICUs across France has been declining for the last 10 days in a row. And epidemiologists, interestingly, say that the risk of eating outside or drinking outside and getting COVID-19 is reduced by about 18 to 20 times versus being inside. And as I said, indoor service isn't for another 3 weeks. There will be a maximum of 6 people per table at the cafes and restaurants around me. And of course, people managing the risk, keeping that risk level as low as possible. But I think what changes the mood here about these relaxation of the measures versus the last time this happened is the fact that 20 million French people have now had at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. So that changes people's optimism. People are more optimistic that this will be a last and final lifting of measures. Even so, the government has said that it can and will apply an emergency brake if numbers start creeping back up.
All right, Tom Burges Watson for us there in central Paris. Thank you very much indeed for your reporting.